Oh, so Jonathan, Tori, good to see you guys. And I wanted to bring up this disturbing topic that's been resonating in my mind for a couple weeks actually, but really intensified since the unrest began in Kyrgyzstan. So the idea is, how do we wrap up this course well? Like really, really seriously. We designed this course, this training program last April and May and June when we thought everybody in this training program would be meeting their students face to face right now. Like, if you're in this training program, you may not have noticed that your big final culminating project after module 5, your big project was present an online unit to your class. And then everything changed in the world thanks to COVID again, and all of you are presenting every lesson you do in Central Asia is online. So you guys are already going beyond what we had expected when we designed this course. We had expected you'd be face-to-face and online with maybe one class or one module. And we expected that there'd be this huge desire to learn about how to teach online from people who had never studied it. But now almost every teacher in Central Asia, it seems like, is online. And almost every teacher in the US is online. And they're learning it as fast as they can. And we really don't want to make work just to make you do work. So like we originally planned in November, at the end of November, we'll have this massive all Central Asia online conference for ODL, and everybody would come. And now I kind of feel like if we did that, everyone would say, I'm so tired of looking at screens. I just want to read a book or sleep or talk to my child face to face. So with all those things involved, how do we finish this course well? What do we do to make this, regardless of all the great interactions that's come so far, now that we're looking at the end of October, beginning of November, the November vacation for Central Asia is 2 weeks away. How do you guys want to finish this? So Tori, Jonathan, what ideas do you have? How can we wrap this up well?
I guess that's really sort of the question. They really have gone far and beyond anything that we probably would have ever expected them to do. And, one unit or lesson online, let alone all of them online. So they've certainly, collectively, if they all brought everything that they had compiled over the semester and said, here's what I did, it would be wildly more impressive than anything that we would have tried to compartmentalize
Yes.
as a project. So I guess we have to get, this is a point of feedback, because here we have three people who are exceedingly maybe forced to a point to where they're like, I'm so tired of online learning, I could just throw a brick. But there's a lot of experience in the room. And I don't
Yeah.
think that there's a struggle that between the three of us, we can't come up with some sort of solid trajectory. Now, I guess that asks the question, do we have to give the same culminating experience for everybody? Would that be useful for everyone?
That's a good point.
What would be useful for the individual? And to truly understand that, we need to hear back from you so that we can understand. So it's almost time for you to teach us. What was your experience like?
Oh,
And how can we
yes.
enhance? Yeah, we can almost flip this whole thing around and like, okay, now the
High
students
five,
become
Tori.
the
Yeah.
teacher.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Yeah,
that would look like. I just think it sounds like a great concept.
No, it's a high five on the concept. I like that a lot. Yeah, Tori, sorry, Jonathan, what do you have
we
to add?
say I do agree with Tori that we need feedback to know. We need to know what you need, because if everybody is struggling, well, if everybody is spending most of their time having to develop more course than they thought they would have to, instead of just, like you said, instead of
Mhm.
developing just one unit, now they're developing entire courses.
Yeah.
Very time consuming, and it would be I think it would be too much for us to ask you to keep working on things in the course when you're already doing them in real life. What you can do, I know especially if somebody's working in Google Classroom, is you can share what you're working on with the people in that cohort and get feedback, and you can share as much as you want, because I'm sure that others might want to borrow your ideas. Others might just like to hear from you and know how your year is going. So I think that we can still help each other out a lot, but we also need to change our expectations and not treat this as much like a course and treat it more like a support group or something like that, where we're here for each other to help each other continue developing as online teachers and online course designers, but we don't really know what that should look like. Now, as far as making sure that people get credit for the work that they have done, I'm really looking forward to recommending that for people. And I think that, so many of you have shared your online units and shared your design documents and things, and that's fine. But I think that something else that would really be effective is kind of like almost like an exit interview where we talk about challenges. We talk about what challenges are facing you. We discuss what some next steps might be, even if we aren't necessarily managing those next steps ourselves, but where it's more of a reflective type of thing where we discuss it and we decide, this is the best course of action for you. And, just to make sure that when people leave this little group, that they feel confident, so that they feel like they've gotten what they needed to get out of it. Yeah. That's going to be different for everybody.
I really like the idea of the exit interview. And I wonder if there's a way, because if they're in the process of compiling all of this online content, is there some way that we can request them to supply, here's what I built. Here's the entirety of everything I've done. They don't have to create anything new. Just present us with the keys of the kingdom. Allow us to opportunity to look inside, and then you tell us what it was like. Talk to us about the areas that were troublesome. Was there a unit that was more difficult than others? Give us the tour. Be the tour guide of your experience, and maybe that is the exit interview or some part of it.
And I think that's where Tori and Jonathan both your different areas of expertise fill into this, because as you said that, I was picturing, how can we do this? And I'm picturing, okay, we can do a Drupal form survey into Moodle, into the discussion group, into this. And that could actually be a really awesome, amazing, like cumulative project that would stand up against academic rigor in any country. Like what you're describing is master's level coursework in the U.S. beyond compare. It's like really good.
Yeah, so, I mean, it could be a written document, but we could offer it a variety of ways, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking like the exit interview, whether that's recorded through a face-to-face or through Flipgrid or through like all these different tools could be used for this.
Yeah.
And so participants in this training program, what I'm asking you to think about as you watch this video is we're not laying out a plan for you. We want your input. We want you to tell us what would be most helpful for you. Like, do you want to just stop like right now? Are you just dead tired? And like seriously, your marriage, your children, your health are more important than this training. So if you want us just to give you a paper that says you've done everything we asked so far, we can do that right now and stop. And I'm not saying that in a shameful way. Like, yeah, seriously, keep your marriages and families strong. Don't take this course. But are you asking for that? Or do you want to give a chance to give us feedback because, Gulnara is an amazing grant receiver and administrator, and I'm sure she's already writing the next grant. Or probably 6 months ago, wrote the next grant after this that will fund something like this in the future.
Yeah,
So
keep in mind,
right.
these guys, you guys are now the cutting edge, the bleeding
Yes.
edge of educational technology.
Yes.
So whatever you've made, however it's compartmentalized, is now something very valuable because
Yes.
you've done it. And the more refining and reflecting, so if you can just push it a little, I know this is like so Western world, this is so white people America, just push it a little further, just keep pushing. But if to be able to put it into a final compartmentalization where it's a little more packaged, gives you something to build on and something really legitimate to share. And the grant idea, that's perfect for this sort of thing.
You want with this benefit from another grant, and you guys have the material to do this. You who are the participants in this program, would it help you to have another professional community? Like there are several international groups that promote high standards in educational technology, and like the Association for Education and Communication Technologies, AECT. This is a group that's been around for 40 years, 50 years. It's a long time. And they bring together professionals. Would it help you to open a Central Asian chapter? Would it help you to have a LinkedIn page? Would it help you to have a Facebook page? I have no idea. Would it help you to have some webinars? With all these things, like what do you guys want? How can we wrap this up in a way that shows you've done some amazing things? Like the work we've seen you do it's really good work, and we want to recognize that. But how do we bring it to an end now that the original endpoint kind of is stupid? That
we sort of blew past it.
Yeah, we set this great goal of, wow, you guys will teach a unit of one class online. Well, you've already done 15 of those. So so how do we show it where you actually are? So, Jonathan, Tori, what do you have to add to this call for requests of input?
How are we going to do it?
They've already done the work several times over. So it's just a matter of sharing that with us, seeing what feedback we might have, what help we can give them with their current challenges. Because the rest of this program can look any way we want it to look, depending on the needs. And so we just need to know what the needs are.
Agreed.
Yep. Agreed.
So now the next question is the format. How do we facilitate this? How does the message go out?
Well, that's great. We'll start by putting this on the Moodle site inside a forum, and guys, send us your comments on the forum. And we know that logging into Moodle is an extra step and everything, and you tend to like WhatsApp, so use WhatsApp. we can track your comments in the WhatsApp group. So if you don't want to put something in Moodle is easier for us to go back and check because WhatsApp, my thumb gets tired. But whatever technology you want, you have our emails, you have Moodle, you have WhatsApp. Tell us what you want, and we'll talk to Gulnara. Gulnara's amazing at making the grant work for what we need to do. So, Gulnara, sorry, you might have some extra work after this, but we will help you, and it's good work. So tell us what you want, guys.